Hello, hello. Okay, I think it's working. Um, you can see my screen. Okay, so there's a lot of Formula One seasons. Okay, let me go through Charles Leclerc real quick. And hold on, I need to pull up my my Pinterest. Okay, because okay, you might judge me, but also you're literally the dude who's like your F1 like counselor or some shit. Okay, so don't judge my pins. Okay. Don't judge him, okay? So this guy, he's like actually like really important, okay? So Charles Leclerc, this dude right here, this guy, this guy. Okay, we'll choose a better picture. This guy, he and this dude are related, and he was Charles Leclerc's like mentor, and he was like a really good driver, but he crashed in like 2013 or 2015. Jules. Bianchi. Okay. He crashed in 2015, I'm pretty sure. That's when he died. And it's like really sad. And it's also really important Charles Leclerc lore. Um, my my thing is not loading, okay? But like basically he was like a really good driver that everyone really liked, but then he died and it was like really sad. So he's important. You should know him. He's also like integral to I'm pretty sure like a couple of teams lore because he's basically like one of like he's like a like the rookie. Like he was crazy back in the day. Okay, so my Wi-Fi just stopped working, so I'm gonna free ball, okay? So okay, I have all of the seasons on here. Okay. Most important guy, Lewis Hamilton, because he has the most drama. Okay. Lewis Hamilton fought with Max Verstappen, Alonso, what's it called Nico Rosberg, Sebastian Vettel, and Jenson Button. Okay, you can see it like here where the like the title champions are. These were like really bad years where they were like constantly like well him and what's it called him and well okay so technically, actually, Lewis Hamilton had a new teammate after Nico Rosberg got his first, what's it called championship title. And right after Nico Rosberg got his championship title, he immediately headed out of the sport. And that's just like important. Uh, Everything is important, actually. Basically, everything I say is important. That's true and real. Uh, so Nico Rosberg left right after he got his championship title. Lewis Hamilton got a new teammate, Bottas, and Bottas is actually a really good secondary driver, but no one really gives a shit about him. So right now he's in the Sauber team or Kick Sauber, it's what it's called right now, with Zhou Guan Yu, and they're both like have a really bad car, but like but Bottas is like kind of like coming up in the ranks. But like yeah, so those two were a team, and Lewis plays aggressive, so he can't have a second driver who's better than him, or else he gets like really like stressed out about it, and that's why Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton have like really huge fights, and it's like a whole rivalry thing. It was honestly comparable to Senna and Prost, which is like over here, and these two were like huge figureheads inside the F1 like during the 90s when like F1 was like really popular. It's comparable to Senna and Prost in that kind of like rivalry aspect, but it's also comparable to Michael Schumacher and Mika Hakkinen, who are also both very skilled drivers. And but that's part of the 2000 seasons. I'm gonna go down the list, okay? So oh wait, I forgot about Max Verstappen. Okay, 2021 is actually like a huge year for F1 because this is when like Drive to Survive really popped off, and mostly because of the Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen rivalry, which was insane in those periods. Okay, man, like I'm telling you, like the YouTube replays have like 20 million views because of like how influential this fight was. And a lot of people say that Max deserved the title, but Lewis deserved the win in which Max won his title championship because it was like a whole drama and mess. You should watch the recap video for it because it's like super interesting. Um, Also, a lot of people don't like Drive to Survive because it's like really dramatized, and instead they like this different show on F1, which basically tells you like all the histories. inside like one race weekend. It's much more interesting to a lot of people who are like nerds, but like Survive is like more for the drama girlies, me included. I'm not. It's so real a reality TV core. I love it. Okay, you don't understand. All right. These two seasons were like really boring because it was just Max Verstappen winning. But like that's also where you get the Max Verstappen. Yeah, it was that thing. Okay. Sebastian Vettel. This is where we see Red Bull's dominance start because Red Bull used to be I'm pretty sure they used to be Jordan or not Jordan. They used to be like this like green car. I think it was Jaguar. Damn, I forgot. But they used to be this like mid-tier team back in like during this time. Hello? Wait, don't come in. I'm recording a video right now. Okay, well you still came in. It's fine. Thank you for the food though. Really appreciate it. Okay, I'm just doing a history recap. Thank you, Dad. Love you. Okay, so basically, my personal favorite driver, Fernando Alonso, is the GOAT. Um, he is the current longest running driver in the grid, I think. It might actually be Lewis Hamilton. I forgot which one, but Fernando Alonso had a rivalry with Michael Schumacher, and Fernando Alonso won, which he stopped Schumacher dominance for for his like eighth title championship, similar to what Max Verstappen did with Lewis Hamilton. But what's it called? That's like besides the point because then Fernando Alonso got like a really shitty car and then he got really sad. Um, oh yeah, Fernando Alonso actually is like he's like the less he okay during his heyday in the 2005 seasons he was like the drama queen, but like I love him for because like Fernando Alonso and like Fernando Alonso's like funny, but like in a mean way, and I love him for it. So he's kind of like Sebastian Vettel in that kind of regard, where they like joke about literally everything and also get really mad really easily. I love them. Sebastian Vettel, oh my God, dude, I'm like skipping around. Okay, Sebastian Vettel, he had a like dominating era. Okay, it's honestly similar to Max Verstappen's current one, but because his teammate was okay. So Max Verstappen's teammate is Checo Perez. And Checo is not that like okay, he's good, but he's good at getting points. He's not good at getting podiums, which makes Max Verstappen way better in terms of like title championships. But so like he's a really good secondary driver, kind of similar to Lewis Hamilton. Um, and honestly, there is actually a lot of similarities between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. But during Lewis Hamilton's like heyday season or like heydays when he was like through the 2014 to 2020 seasons, where he was basically dominating. So Max Verstappen would be like a points contender or like a podium contender most of the time. And he's had like a couple of teammates. Most of them left him or were like dropped out because what's it called Red Bull had like a lot going on for Max Verstappen, so Max Verstappen was always their number one driver, which stopped because every other driver they had who was with Max Verstappen, well, like Max Verstappen had good drivers with him. Okay, he had Daniel Ricciardo, who's still in the like still in here, and during their heyday, Daniel Ricciardo like scored more points than Max Verstappen, which was insane. Like the what's it called Aduba Adubadi. Oh my God. Um, the Baku 2017 or 2016 Grand Prix. That's when Daniel Ricciardo beat Max Verstappen because Max Verstappen crashed his car. Super interesting race. You should watch that one. That one's like really interesting. And they also post remasters on F1, so you should watch those. I love watching the remasters. It's so good. But like yeah, okay. So basically, this is like the heyday of what's called Mercedes, mostly because there wasn't a limit cap on the cash flow for each F1 team, which there is now. It's 150 million, I'm pretty sure. And for like car development and stuff like that. Not for driver buyouts because Lewis Hamilton's like a $900 million contract with Ferrari next season. It's insane. And also the Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton duo is going to be crazy. But okay, so this is when like a lot of the like rookie drivers got into their heydays. This is when like a Leclerc drove with what's his name? Kimi Räikkönen. This is when Oscar Piastri and Carlos Sainz were together. This was when what's it called Red Bulls like junior drivers like Alex Albon and Max Verstappen and Daniel Kvyat, and then like all the good rookies that we have now came in from from this era, and they developed behind Lewis Hamilton. So like it's interesting seeing the dynamics change because of like the limit caps and like how Hamilton is like he cares like way less this season comparative to like when he in his like 2020 seasons, and he's also like a lot older. So he's basically like the old guard, similar to how Michael Schumacher worked, where like people would comment that he has like 7 world championships, but then also talk about like how like he's like also like in the midfield pack during Kimi Räikkönen's and Fernando or not Kimi Räikkönen's during Lewis Hamilton when he was in McLaren and like Jenson Button and like Ferrari during this time where he was like a part of Mercedes before they were good. Um, Also Mercedes has like a connection with I think it's like I think it's like Alan Prost. No, no, it's not. Is it Prost? No, Nicky Lauda. It might be Nicky Lauda. But basically, what's it called? They have like Mercedes has old connections. They've been in the racing game for so long. It's honestly like comparable to like Ferrari for how long they've been in the racing scene. So they have like old connections. And so when they got into F1, they basically like understood the assignment, and that's how they got like all their title championships. Um, Braun, one of literally statistically the best what's it called the best team to ever exist, and that's also the reason why Mercedes like is with was with them. Like this is before Mercedes was like an actual team, I'm pretty sure. I think I'm not too sure, but basically this was like the buyout that I think Mercedes bought them out, and then they later became like the Mercedes. Usually Mercedes was like a part of team names or something, like how like McLaren and Mercedes is here, but it's like actually a McLaren car. You see what I'm saying? It was like kind of like that. Um, Okay, so yeah, right now I'm talking about all the drivers, but like there's also like a bunch of history with the like Ferraris and like the Red Bulls and stuff, which is also super interesting. And also has to deal with the engines that they use, which is like an entirely different story. But basically, Lewis Hamilton, probably like the main character right now, he transfers from McLaren to um Mercedes, but during his time with McLaren, he was partnered with Fernando Alonso, and Lewis Hamilton didn't have his world championships yet. So Fernando Alonso was basically fighting against one of the best drivers ever, like statistically, before he was like before he got his like what's it called wins. So they had like a huge rivalry when Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso were in the same team in McLaren, and also it's the reason they lost out. Both of them lost out their championship titles in when with Kimi Räikkönen and I think Jenson Button, or it might have been like 2012 because okay, so basically, they have like huge drama, and they got in each other's way a lot, and it caused like what's it called it caused McLaren to lose a bunch of points, which gave way to like a lot of the not Jensen Button, but Kimi Räikkönen to get his like what's it called his first championship and his only championship. Kimi Räikkönen, he also stays in the sport for quite a while. He stays, I think, until like 2018 or something. Like he stays in for a while. But yeah, so that's about it. Jensen Button also like a really good driver. He also only got 1 championship, and Braun is statistically the best team to ever exist because it existed for 1 season. Because I'm pretty sure like Honda sold it to the like to like one of the like like directors for like $1 because it was in like so much debt, and they built it from like ground up, and they used this like technology that none of the other like companies used called a dual like distributor system or whatever. It's like a gimmick or something. It's not a gimmick, but it's like a really boring word. But like yeah, so basically by Ross Brawn, they won their first season ever existing and their only season ever existing with Jensen Button, which was like one of the greatest drivers, like not one of the greatest drivers, but like a really good driver. He's comparable to Fernando Alonso. A lot, like the comparisons are like hard to make because they all have different cars, but like Kimi Räikkönen and Fernando Alonso fought a lot. I think Fernando Alonso is better than Kimi Räikkönen, but Jenson Button and was what's called also comparable to Fernando Alonso and a little worse than Kimi Räikkönen on his it's like that. But Lewis Hamilton was better than Kimi Räikkönen and Jenson Button, but comparable to Fernando Alonso. It's a lot. It's a lot because like the stats don't actually tell the stories because Fernando Alonso is like one of the best drivers to like ever like grace this not grace the sport, that's too hyperbolic, but to ever like touch F1 and his like but he's like also one of the most underrated. And right now, Adrian Newey, who is the dude who made all these Red Bull cars and this Red Bull or these Red Bull cars and also the McLaren and what's called Williams like winning season or not that Williams. This Williams is going to make the new 2025 what was it? Aston Martin cars. So a lot of people are hoping Fernando Alonso get his third championship or at least his like 33rd race win, which is also like another thing that's happening right now. Okay. So now we got okay, now we're in the Schumacher era. This is basically just Schumacher winning every single one of his like races. He has like some insane race victories because he would start like P7 and then just end up in P1. Like the way he grabs like podiums was insane. And it was stopped by Fernando Alonso in the Renault, which only lasted two like seasons because Renault then got bad. But Renault sold its engines to Red Bull, but Red Bull thought like the engines were actually like kind of garbage and they were more of a hindrance. So they stopped partnering with Renault, and it was like a whole drama back in the day. Um, but like yeah, so Remulant used to be really good, isn't good, and then they got banned because, or they didn't get banned. The dude who used to manage the team got banned because he there was like this huge scandal where they said that one of the dudes caused a crash, and that was the way for one of them to get like a lot more points than the other. It was like this whole deal. But basically, Renuant isn't like big anymore, and it's like really sad. Or it's not sad. It's just like a thing that happened. And then this is Ferrari's heyday. Now there's a Ferrari curse where like what's called like anyone who like kind of partners with Ferrari. Oh wait, they okay. This is oh yeah, they had a Ferrari engine. Sorry, McLaren had a Ferrari engine this day. I got a little confused here. These are I think the engines. Oh, constructors champion. Sorry, my bad, my bad. These are the constructor champions. Which is like points. This is points per team. This is what's called. Uh, drivers championships, which is points for drivers. Okay, now we got Michael Schumacher. Basically, everything past the 2000s is like the most important because this is when Fernando Alonso got his like rookie season, like basically like what happened here. This is when Fernando Alonso got his rookie season, Kimi Räikkönen and Jenson Button. This is when they all developed. Uh, Michael Schumacher was like a huge deal. So like when Fernando Alonso beat him and then Fernando Alonso got beat by Kimi Räikkönen, it was like a whole thing. But yeah, basically a lot of great drivers here. None of them went past these, like none of them got better than past these seasons, which was like really sad. Like none of them like really like shined comparatively because they never got like some of them got wins like what's his name Massa yeah he was like one of the, I think he was Michael Schumacher's like second driver. Those two were like kind of gang mostly because I mean not Michael Schumacher, well Michael Schumacher was like way better than him unfortunately Felipe Massa in my opinion. This is also when we get what's called Robert Kubica. He's like he gets like he's good, but he's never gotten like he doesn't get the recognition he deserves during this time period because like he's kind of like in a midfield team and it's like really sad. Um, he's also like not that interesting. I'm gonna be real with you. That's Jensen Button. This was what's called uh Kimmy. What's his name again? I forgot his name. Hold on. This is Kimi Räikkönen when he was younger and when they worked in like older teams. This was McLaren Salbert, and they used to be good. Now they're bad. They're like really bad. But they're starting to pick up the pace with what's it called Alex Albon and the new dude. I forgot his name. It starts with a C. And I think they're making a comeback because they got points finishes last race, which was really cool. Yeah, yeah, Jensen Button used to be a part of this like other team like a while ago. This is it says a lot about me. Don't judge me. This is Fernando Alonso. This was when he was like first starting off the like racing scene when he was like a rookie. Uh, yeah, that's about it. So tell me if you need anything more past that, past the 2000s, because I can tell you about those two.